Good morning, everyone. So, on behalf of Ramkunstad Technology, Department of Mechanical Engineering, RIT CAT Center, and IEI, I welcome you all for this wonderful 12 days finite element analysis webinar series. So, first of all, I would like to share something. So, participants are requested to mute your videos during the webinar. So, you can ask your doubts during the question answer session, or you can start using chat box. So we have planned 12 days webinar. Each day we have a two session. The first session 10 to 11:30 and the second session 3 to 4 1 hour. So the main motto or the objective of this webinar series is enrich our finite element analysis knowledge and CAE. So this webinar series definitely useful for enrich our knowledge in both the technical aspects and practical aspects. We have planned to give hands-on training using ANSYS, Abacus, and MATLAB. So definitely it will be very useful for research scholars, UG, PG students, and those who are handling finite element analysis faculties, and those who are pursuing sixth semester B mechanical engineering students. So I hope definitely it will be give more knowledge to us. So with this instruction, I'm going to introduce today a resource person, Mr. J. Gerald John Brito, Assistant Professor, Senior Grade, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology. Shar has completed BE and ME in MEPCO Slang Engineering College. So he is ME specialization CATCAM. So next, so he has more than 8-year experience in teaching and especially 6-year experience in engineering college. He has handled more than 8 subjects, especially finite element analysis. So he has handled so more than 6 times in finite element analysis, and also he has handled simulation and analysis laboratory so 8 times. So definitely, so he will give wonderful session to us, and he has published more than international journals. So and he has published more than 21 conference. So he has published one book chapter. So he has attended various FDTP and webinars. So he has attended more than 42, so 60 FDTP, and he has presented as a resource person in various programs. He has presented him valuable presentation in so 40 more programs, and he has pursued more than 12 online courses in MIT platform. So he is membership in 5 more professional society, and he got 6 more awards in that so recognized reputed institute, and he is acted various things in the Ramco Institute of Technology. So with this small introduction, I am going to hand over this session to Mr. J. Gerald John Brito. Sir, I welcome, sir. So thank you for this opportunity to give some introduction about you. I welcome Mr. J. Gerald John Brito.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhakar. So can you able to hear me? Hello, Prabhakar. Hello. Hello. Can you able to hear me, Prabhakar? Yeah.
So participants are requested to read this instruction before attending. So this is my kind request.
Prabhakar, hello. Hello, Prabhakar. Hello. Hello,
Sir,
Prabhakar.
we are able to hear you, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Prabha, தெரியுது. Hello, good morning to everyone. So, on behalf of Ramkunst Technology, we are welcoming you for this 12-day webinar series and also a short-term course on financial analysis. So, as introduced myself by Mr. Prabhakar, so myself is working as an assistant professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, okay, Ramkunst Technology, Rajapati. So today's topic is, so I just to give the overall view of financial analysis, and also I want to focus on specified syllabus and also general overview regarding historical background, mathematical modeling of field problems in engineering, then governing equations, how to derive the governing equations for various structural problems. Okay, and also I'm trying to solve the two problems under the weighted residual techniques. So those who are interested in problem solving and also those who are willing to know about the fundamentals of mathematical equations, how to derive the structural problems and also thermal category. So category problems. Okay, now I start with the basic introduction about finite element analysis. So the basic concepts behind this, so everyone know about those who are handling the subject and also those who are studying the subject and also those who are working in R&D, research and development industry. So we are familiar about the finite element concept for the past 30 years. So it is a slowly growing topic. So the general difference, FEM or FEA, is based on the idea. So building a complicated object, okay, with the simple blocks or dividing a complicated object into a smaller manageable pieces. Okay, this is the general basic concepts. So you may see the simple play toys. So you see that children are playing with the small toys. They are building with so many complicated objects with the different combinations of output. Okay, so this is a basic concept. We are going to build a component, build a large structure with a small known manageable piece of structures. So this is a basic concept we are taking into account for FEA. One more definition also here we are seeing dividing a complicated object. Okay, that is also another important thing. So here you can see that a gear tooth profile, it is a complicated object because it may be an involute profile or cycloidal profile. So the profile is very complex in nature. Okay, we need to solve this entire geometry and also you need to find out the ultimate solution for deflection, stress. Okay, whatever maybe we need to know about that. We need to divide the structure into so many parts. That means dividing a complicated object. The best thing is smaller and manageable pieces. Okay, you will get the final product. This is the final outcome of the product. So based on this product, we are developing the concept. Okay, next thing. So the main important thing. So methods of solving any engineering problems. So any kind of complex problems or any engineering applications, we need to solve that. We are having three main category. One is analytical method. One is analytical method and numerical method and experimental method. These are the three main categories of solving methodology. if you take analytical method, so everyone know the analytical method because those who have studied engineering mechanics and center materials subject. So if you want to solve any simple problem, you can use the governing equations of Hooke's law. Okay, if you want to find out any deformation, so you can apply the Hooke's law. Okay, the simple definition of Hooke's law is stress is directly proportional to strain within the elastic limit. Okay, so if you use this Hooke's law, we can solve a simple problem. Okay, you see the difference. A classical approach, it gives 100% accuracy, but for a simple category like cantilever beam, semi-supported beam, and cylindrical case, we can solve. If you go with the higher order complex problem, so it is very difficult because we need more number of governing equations and more number of unknowns. So it is very difficult to solve by using hand calculation. Okay, for that purpose, we are moving into the next stage. Okay, so before discussing the numerical methods, we first focus on experimental method. You see the experimental method. So every component, once it is fabricated from the manufacturing sector, so we need to test the component by colliding the component, or we need to do the experimentation by means of external resources. Okay, that is the main thing. So in the case of experimentation, actual measurements can be taken. So time consuming work and also needs to expensive setup, and also results cannot be believed blindly because so many errors may occur. So the errors may be in the experiment instrument, or human error may occur. So we need to focus on that. So we cannot simply believe on that experimental result. Okay, so the measurement tools like strain gauges, photoelasticity, vibration measurement, okay, an accelerometer, sensors for temperature and pressure measurement. Here you see that a newly made car is tested with the crash test. So they are colliding with a solid wall for testing its impact strength. Okay, so definitely they are wasting the money, material, and also human effort. Okay, if you want to test more number of car means definitely it leads to failure. Okay, some cases they may not test the car, but they release the car to the market. So due to the running during the running period, so it may be leads to failure. So it is unpredictable failure. So to avoid those things, so now they are mainly focusing on numerical methods. Okay, so it is also a mathematical approach. Okay, the main thing is it is an approximate method. Okay, it is not giving an actual method. It is an approximate method. Yes, acceptable method. So even though it is approximate method, we can get the good solution of results. Okay, based on the convergence study. Okay, so we can use for complicated problems. So results cannot be believed blindly because experimental methods also having some difficulty. To solve complicated problem by using that numerical method is very simple. Again, you see, compare the two methods, experimental method and also numerical method. The both testing we are doing. In experimental method, we are wasting the material. In case of numerical method, just we are doing a simulation through the software tools. Okay, just we are modeling the solid wall and also we are colliding the actual component over that. So you will test that component and you can get the more number of results like deformation, maximum impact strength, and what is the maximum stress produced during that impact. Everything we can get from the software solution. Okay, there are so many methods for doing that. One is finite element method, boundary element method, finite volume method, and finite difference method. So it depends on the selection of applications, selection of field of problems, field variable problems. Okay. So next thing, in finite element method, so as a general, it is a numerical method. So mathematical representation of actual problem. So it is also an approximate method. Okay, you see the basic definition. FEM is a hidden. Okay, its word itself, you can see that it makes calculations only limited number of points. Okay, so as the name indicates, finite. So we are focusing on the limited number of points and interpolate the results with the entire surface or entire volume. We are focusing on single point of calculation and we are interpolating with the other entire surfaces. Okay, so these are some examples for finite element method to solve the problem and also to get the solution for the various external load. Okay. Next thing is, so what is mean by finite? Okay, any real world problem considers a continuous object. Okay, that means it has infinite degrees of freedom. Okay, we cannot predict the degrees of freedom. It can move at any. So it may be leads to many problem. Okay, so infinite degrees of freedom may not be possible to solve the complex problems. Okay, next thing, finite element method reduces the degrees of freedom into finite number of degrees of freedom. That is the main thing. How we can reduce the degrees of freedom? By using that nodes and elements. Okay, the nodes and elements can get from the discretization process. Discretization nothing but, as we have discussed in the first slide itself, we are dividing the complicated object into so many number of equal parts. Okay, that is the meaning of discretization. So from the discretization, so we can get nodes and elements. So here you see that it is in a complex geometry and also complex object. So it is, if you take the real component of this piston and cylinder, it has infinite number of degrees of freedom. Okay, so if you restrict that, means you can reduce the degrees of freedom. But if it is not restricted, it is open to place, open to a free space, means it is infinite. Then we can divide it into finite number of divisions. Okay, now come to the next meaning of the word element. Okay, so all the calculations are made to limited number of points. Okay, so if you have the known number of geometry, then only you can solve the problems. If it is unknown geometry, means definitely we don't know about the basic mathematical equations. So that is the main thing. So here a limited number of points can be selected for the calculation of element, is called as in nodes. If you connect all the nodes throughout the entire geometry, so it will create the elements. Okay, the next line they have mentioned that here you see entity joining nodes and forming a specific shape such as quadrilateral or triangle is known as element. So it from that element we can use the interpolation function, and we can calculate any kind of output variables like that. Okay, so here you see the difference. So it is a geometry. So we are taking from the cylinder and piston arrangement. So we are dividing this small element with a more number of equal parts and also unequal parts. Even though it is unequal parts, known geometry. So all the geometries are rectangle geometry. Okay, so these are the red color points are indicating nodes. Okay, the connecting lines are connecting lines, and also the closed geometry indicates the elements. So the blue color numbering indicates the element, and the red color number indicates the nodes. So this is a basic meaning of the element. There are so many methods for solving any engineering problems, but in finite element method we are solving. We are taking 3 methods. So we will see later one by one. Now come to the main thing. Okay, first we need to know the basic difference between continuous and discrete. So many people heard about the two terminology, continuous and discrete. Okay, in mathematics itself you may study it. What is the meaning of continuous? So all real life components are continuous approach. Okay, if you see the image, children, a small boy is sitting over a chair. So I need to analyze the load analysis of the chair, particular chair. So how to analyze the entire real world problems? We will see one by one. So it is a real and continuous problem. If you take the discrete model, okay, we are taking the mathematical model from the real world problem. If you speak about the real world problem, means it is continuous. Now I am going to convert this real world problem into mathematical approach. So it is discrete approach. Discrete is nothing but discrete approach is equivalent to mathematical modeling. How we are doing a mathematical calculation? So here a chair is here you can see the conversion of these two objects. A human can be converted into like a lumped mass system. So it is a mass placed over the chair. Okay, a chair is represented as a cell or beam element. Okay, so here I will show that. So this color indicates the human imitation. So the bottom portion is nothing but a cell and beam element. So this is chair. Okay, we are converting this chair element into cell or beam element. The human body is converted into lumped mass system. So this is the actual scenario happening in the finite element software and also finite element theory. So we are taking a real world problem, we are converting that real world problem into discrete problem. Discrete problem is nothing but we are creating a mathematical modeling based on the real world problem by considering the certain assumption and also certain element category. Okay, so these are the major thing. So we must know this difference between continuous and discrete problem. So next thing, so now I post a simple quiz for everyone. In FEM, the complex domain defining a continuum is divided into what? Okay, it is simple questions. So participants, please post your answer in the chat box. Okay, if you understand the previous topics, you can easily answer the questions. Venkatesh sir, hello.
So some participants respond option B.
Option B, okay.
Then so more participants are responding option B only, sir.
Okay, so now we see the solution. Yes, already the first definition itself we have seen that. So every complex domain can be defining into number of elements. So the answer is B. So it is an element. Okay, next we can see the next topic. So you take the real world failure cases. Okay, here there is a 3 pictures shows the failure of the aircraft structure. Aircraft structure. First aircraft images shows that so it is a sudden failure due to the drop. Okay, drop mass arrangement. Second is a firing. Third also firing failure. So we need to confine the problem. So this is a very informative flow chart. Here you see that. So I will explain one by one because it is very essential while taking into any real world problem into the mathematical equation. So a problem may be a larger domain, a wide area. Okay, so you can create you can involve more peoples to solve the problem, to take more number of key points to take the decision. Next case, you can apply the general mechanical theory. Okay, problems is the actual problem is the failure of the aircraft. So this is the wide problem. Failure may occur due to any kind of issue. It may be electrical issue, it may be a mechanical issue, it may be a environmental conditions, whatever may be. So we can take any point of view. You can apply the mechanical theory, then filter the problem. Again, you convert the problem into mathematical description. Okay, we need to write the mathematical equations, or you need to create a mathematical model over that. Then you can apply the FEM theory. Okay, filter one is we are applying the theoretical approach. Then we are applying into the FEM theory. Again, we are giving FEM description. So we can convert the entire 3-dimensional object into 2D or 1D problem. So now we are converging into filter 3. So based on the user, we are getting confined area. Now we can convert it into useful parts. Okay, the choice of the useful parts can be here. So we can reduce the wastage of the ideas, and we can confine into the useful ideas. Now we can do the solution based on the computer or programming. If you well known about the programming, you can do the programming code for solving the problem. If you have a GUI, just it's very simple. Then we will get the solution of the problem. So this is the large area. So we need to converge. Okay, converge the large problem into smaller problem by means of applying theory and also FEM approach. Then you can do the simulation. So this is the basic idea behind that for solving any FEM problem. Okay, now again I will give some example for continuous and discrete model, because it is very essential, because everywhere we are seeing the real world component. Okay, we are going that we are seeing the water bottle, we are seeing the tables, we are seeing the car, real time train, cars and automobiles, whatever in aircraft structures. But how to do the mathematical modeling, that is very, very important. So no, many of we don't know about the basic concept behind that. I'll just give you the overall view. So here you see that it is a real world application. So I have taken. So yeah, motorbike rider is the real world component. Okay, this is a continuous. Okay, here it is a riding of the person. So we can consider the rider as the mass. So as we have discussed in the previous case, from the vehicle, so the earth is the base. Okay, we can fix the earth. Earth is nothing but road surface. So it is a fixed end. So in between the road to tire, we can take a suspension or a flexible material, and body to the tire wheels. Okay, we are having suspension system. These are the suspension system for front and also rear wheel. So this suspension system is taken into account as a spring mass system. So if you use the observer, that means shock observer, we can take it as the shock observer system. Okay, so this is the conversion of real world problem into mathematical model. This M equivalent, that means mass. Okay, lumped mass is the person weight. Okay, spring is nothing but suspension system. Okay, that is fitted into the vehicle. Okay, this damper is nothing but vibration observer that is fitted into the vehicle. So last, these portions are fitted into the earth. Okay, so again we can subscribe it into so many subparts. Okay, so there is no one mass, so we can get a back wheel mass and right front wheel mass. So these two masses considered combined to each other. Okay, we can consider the back side of the suspension system, right front end of the suspension system. We can include the tire contact points, that is also a suspension, because the tire is a elastomers. Okay, the elastomers also having some kind of shock absorbing capability. Okay, this is the general difference between continuous and discrete model. Also another the same as the previous case. Okay, next thing, here you see that it is a real world component, so that is created by the civil structure. So it is anvil. Okay, you see that this is the anvil. We are dropping a component from the top of the portion, so it is anvil. So it is outside of the frame, the elastic pad, then foundation block, then soil. So we need to convert this real world application into okay, now here you see that. Okay, mathematical modeling is like that. Here you see that anvil is a block, foundation also a block. So we are converting the suspension into that. Suspension is nothing but elastic pad. Elastic pad is considered as a shock absorber. Okay, and then elastic pad of stiffness is considered as a spring mass system. Okay, damping of soil. Okay, damping of soil is also a dampers. Okay, stiffness of the soil also considered as a spring mass system. So this is the conversion of discrete into continuous into discrete model. Okay, now come to the core area. So what are the main numerical methods are available in the current scenario? First one is a finite element method. So it is a general method. So everyone and everywhere we are using the same methodology for all the problems, all the field variable problems. So here it is a nothing but already we know the discretization of the component into finite number of blocks. Application, so it is not limited to particular domain. It is applicable for all the domains like linear, non-linear problems, thermal, dynamic analysis, and buckling and fatigue analysis. Boundary element method, it is a powerful and efficient technique to solve the in specific field like acoustics. Okay, and NVH is nothing but noise, vibration, and harshness problems. Okay, for specific problems we can use the boundary element method. Okay, in boundary element method, it consists only the outer boundary of the domain. So that is the need of the case. Next, finite volume method. So in case of finite volume method, all the computational fluid dynamics field comes under the finite volume method. So we are play with the fluids like air passing through any car. Okay, car surfaces, that is comes under the computational fluid dynamics. There's interaction between solid and liquid. Okay, liquid may be any gases or any waters or oils, whatever may be. So how we can find out the unknown parameters by using the concept of CFD. Okay, unit volume is considered as a finite volume method. Okay, so it is similar to the finite element method also. The properties like, so if you do the CFD analysis, so we are focusing on the main parameters like pressures, velocity over that wind velocity, okay, how it will passes through the solid surfaces, and the area of the contact surfaces, and also mass of the component. So mainly this finite volume method follows the mathematical equations by Navier-Stokes equations, mass, momentum, and energy conservation equation. Next thing is finite difference method. So finite difference method is similar to the finite element method, but in specific finite element method is described as a way of solving differential equation. Okay, if you want to solve a differential equation, we can use the finite difference method. So, for example, if you do the thermal problem, in specific heat transfer problem, okay, temperature distribution problem, so we can do the finite difference method, because all the mathematical equations related to the thermal problems in the form of differential equations. For solving differential equation, finite difference method is very suitable for the specific cases. Here you see that main important thing, is it possible to use all above the listed methods, okay, FEA, BEM, FEM, FDM, to solve the same problem? To take any simple cantilever beam, whether it is possible to solve all problems? Yes, it is, but the difference is accuracy achieved, programming, easy of programming. So we will see one by one. Okay, what are the available commercial software packages in the current market? So already we know that ANSYS is a very known software tool, both academia and also industry. Okay, and Ideas, Nastran, Abacus, Cosmos, and Algar, Patron, Hypermesh, Dyna 3D. So these are really different commercial softwares available in the market, but they are using for different purposes. It depends on their customer problem. These are the logos of the software package. Applications, there is no limitation of applications, so we can use any kind of applications: mechanical aerospace and structural analysis, even static dynamic linear and nonlinear case, thermal analysis, electromagnetic analysis, geomechanics, biomechanics. Okay, these are the major applications. So I will show a few more applications for your better understanding. So here you see that automotive, plant construction, consumer goods, equipments, energy, biomedical, electronic. So in generally we can speak, these are the applications we can speak, but in specific we must know how they are doing the simulation. I will show that. If you take the automotive components, we can do the simulation over the car body, chassis, and also interior. How we can do the interior design? So if you take the structure safety evaluation of automotive hood latch, okay, childhood impact analysis, low speed crash test over the component automobile, closest stiffness analysis, do stiffness analysis, do trim impact, side impact protection analysis. So these are the components built into the car. Generally we are speaking, we are doing the FEM on the car. What are the ways of analysis in the car that we should know? So that these are the available technology. A simple tool I have shown here, door trim impact. Okay, so there is an impact load acting on the door trim from the outside load. Okay, so we can do the simulation. It is simple component. Next thing, construction and plant. So in general, plant, civil structure, structure members. Okay, these are all the construction sector and also plant. In specific, you can use this component. So I will give you the simple application. So Kuwait Olympic Stadium wind dynamic analysis. So during that building of that Olympic Stadium, so they have tested with many external factors like wind forces and also thermal forces, whatever maybe. What are the major problem arises during the construction? So they have considered, and also they have done the FEM simulation. Then they have created the output parameters. So here you see that if you increase the height of the stadium, so the wind speed also gradually increased. Okay, if you building any structure, increase the height of the structure, definitely we need to consider the wind speed. So automatically speed also increased. Okay, they have considered all those things and they have done the simulation. In case of antenna tower system, so here they have considered the impact test. So approximately 200 tons of mass is collide over the tower. Okay, at the initial speed of 50 km/h. But in real case, there is no bulleted shape of impact test. But as per the standard ASM standards, they have taken into account for bullet impact. But there is no actual bullet impact. Okay, only thief and also any terrorist only they are focusing on that bullet impact. But in actual case, environmental condition is the major impact. Environmental any stones during the wind forces. Okay, in cyclone, there are so large number of stones can be thrown through the antenna tower. So during that condition, how we can measure? So these are the applications. In electronics, so there is no limitation. So electronics also we can do the simulation. In lighting, okay, by LED display, okay, electronics products and electronic parts. Okay, in general, I do the specific case. So they are doing the LED light bulb. So how we can do? If there are so many designs nowadays, you can see that different companies, they are producing the LED bulb, and also they are creating different shapes for attracting the people. But the main working principle is same. But for attraction and also for selling their product, they are giving more heat resisting component over that bulb. So before producing and before manufacturing the component, they need to simulate whether the heat and the outer casings are withstand the heat, and also they are it able to withstand the life for the longer period. So they have tested by means of simulation without doing any physical experimentation. In marine and offshore, it is also in marine and offshore there is a large structure. So in small piece of component, it's very simple. We can do the impact simulation. We can do the drop mass setup by using the experimental setup. But in marine, if you take the shape of the ship is very larger. If you do the simulation, if you do the real-time experimentation, it is very difficult. We need to create large setup. Okay, in for that case, they are doing simulation. So here, the hull surface is imported and converted into PREP model. Their 3D model is created, and fluid domain model is created. Fluid domain is nothing but she is the fluid domain. Both water and also air is combined to each other to create a fluid domain. So this slotted bar, you see the slotted portion, that is nothing but a ship shape. Okay, ship hull. Okay, so we are applying the pressure here. We are applying the velocity of the fluid, and also we are considering the waving. Okay, everything is considered into account. Then they are doing simulation, and we are getting the output. In specific biomedical also, there are large number of applications. Okay, biomedical simulation, medical, and also biomechanics. Okay, you can do the non-linear analysis. Here you do the medical applications, the stair lift mechanism they have used for dynamic analysis. Yes, dental implant. Okay, they have created dental analysis. Okay, dental. If you want to place a new teeth, if your teeth is broken into small pieces, then definitely, if possible, means the doctor can adjust the teeth, and also they may do the operations, or otherwise they need to remove the teeth from the root. Again, they need to fit the new teeth. Okay, by using the root canal methodology. Before going to that, so if you do the simulation, how much biting forces acting over the teeth. Okay, this is a teeth model. Is a particular teeth model is built here. So we are giving the biting force around 500 Newton, like the fatigue life, because we are eating so many eatables with a different biting force. Okay, everything is considered into account for simulation. Pressure vessel, it is also good example. Yes, next thing, many people are saying that FEA and FEM, whether it is different or same. So we must know that sometimes we can say finite element analysis, sometimes we can say finite element method, whether it is same or not. We must know. Both are same. It depends on the scenario. A term FEA is most popular in industries. In industries, they are speaking as a finite element analysis. In academia, so we are naming as a finite element method. That is the only difference. There is no other difference for FEA and FEM. Some case finite mode effective analysis is also they are speaking, but it is entirely different. Here you see that FEA and FEM is used by design and R&D department. In FMEA is applicable for all departments. Now come to the topic, history of finite element method. So in earlier days, in 1906, civil engineering applications they have created for finite element methodology. So only they have created a mathematical model by the help of some mathematician and also physician and also engineers. Okay, so they have analyzed using the I-beam for doing the calculation. You see that only they have made with the hand calculations to solve the complex geometry, complex problems. In 1909, Ritz introduced the variational method. Okay, after that only they have developed the calculation. In 1915, Galerkin method is introduced by weighted residual technique. In 1940s, Courant and also Brugger and Sinch developed the mathematical foundation for present form of FEA. Okay, you see that many students are studying the 6th semester FEA subject in first unit. variational approach, and also weighted result technique. So these are all developed during the 1909. You see that more than 100 years before. Okay, we are studying the past theory. Okay, now come to the 1950s. Hargreaves and Gilstead and Turner, they have developed the direct continuum element. Aerospace industry engineers formulated stiffness equations. Later, so 2 degrees of freedoms problems was supposed to be a very large at that time. In 1960, Clough, the first name coined by the Clough, okay, finite element method. In late 1960s, mechanical industry recognized the FEM as a powerful tool for the real world problem solving. Okay, many of the presently popular FE softwares were launched in the market. So many softwares are coming to the market. Even open source softwares also there. Okay, we can use the software without purchasing any commercial software, but there is some restriction. Okay, we'll see later. 1990s, okay, 1980s, they have created a graphical and computational development that is called GUI. Before that, they only developed by using the codings. In 1990s, emergency of low cost and powerful PC stations and FE adopted by mid and small scale industries were developed in 1990s. Okay, so these are some publications from the beginning. In 1961, only 10 papers were published, okay, in the finite element method field. 1966 gradually increased to 134, then 844 during 1971. 1976, 7,000 around. 1986, 20,000 paper. After 2006, there was infinite number of papers was arrived. Still, they are publishing so many papers with different software tools for different applications. Yes, still it is accepted because of the difficulty in doing experimentation. These are some pioneers, those who were created in FEM. John Hargreaves and also Bruce Irons and Ray Glove and Jinkovich. Jinkovich is a very famous pioneer who has developed the theory of beam, okay, in center materials. Okay, so these are some advantages. So we'll see one by one. Now, what is the current scenario in present scenario? Okay, it is very important. You see that in theoretical aspect, till 1994, India FEM was offered as a postgraduate course only at a few universities during the 1994. After 1995 onwards, they have introduced small courses into the UG levels, graduate levels. Okay, in BE, Bachelor of Engineering. Still, people and students are struggling to study the finite element method because of the mathematical derivations and mathematical equations. Okay. Next thing is software. There are 3 steps they are following in the softwares. One is pre-processing, post-processing, processing. Then last one is post-processing. Okay, in pre-processing, you will see in detail software about in the afternoon session or tomorrow session by Mr. K. Amudan. So we will see later. Now come to the practical applications. CA groups get following steps of job orders. New design, cost cutting, optimization, failure analysis. These are the practical applications. Okay, we can made. Here there is a need for creating any new software tools. What are the basic coding software is Fortran and C++. Nowadays it is not there. Okay, it is as a beginning. At the beginning stage, they used it as a writing language Fortran and C++. Nowadays Python is also an emerging tool. You can use the Python. If you know the Python programming, you can create your own software and also you can develop your own problem. You can create your own problem. You can create your own software. So if it is permitted through the open source. Now, there's a quiz for you. So finite element method analysis deals with what kind of solution? One is approximate solution or non-boundary value problem or partial differential equation or Laplace equations. Participants, can you try to give the answer in chat box? Venkatesh? Question. Okay, so answer is approximate numerical solution. Approximate numerical solution. Now come to the second quiz. Second quiz. The finite element method formulation of the problem So second problem, what is the finite element method for algebraic equations? Okay. Algebraic equations. Okay, the answer is now third question, whether it is audible.
Yes, sir, your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, now FEM gives accurate representation of what? Real geometry or complex geometry or real and application complex geometry or constant geometry? Can you try to give the answer for this quiz?
Some participants respond to option C, sir.
Option
C, sir.
Okay.
And some participants respond to option B.
Option B. Okay, so it is simply a complex geometry. Okay, so that is the quiz. That is the answer for this quiz. So complex geometry is the answer for this case. Okay, now come to the fourth quiz. Finite element method is also called as what? This is the first definition I have discussed. So try to post your answer in the chat box. English.
Sir, more participants respond option C, sir.
Yes, this is correct. So just now we have discussed about that. Both are same. Finite element method and finite analysis is same. Okay. Next quiz. To solve the FEM problem, it subdivides a large problem into smaller, simpler parts that are called as what? It is also very simple. Whether it is finite element or infinite element, dynamic element or static elements. Beautiful. Great.
Sir, participants are respond to options A and some participants are respond to options B, sir.
Okay. Option B means I think some participants are not listening this webinar. You name itself, you see that finite element method. So definitely you know the answer is finite element, not infinite element. Okay. Okay. Then come to the element stiffness matrix. Stiffness matrix is like a password or pin key for treasurer of FEA. If you speak about FEA, definitely stiffness matrix plays a vital role. What is stiffness matrix? Yes, you know the basic structural problem. So sigma, as per the Hooke's law, sigma equal to Young's modulus E into strain. So Hooke's law, sigma equal to Young's modulus into E. That means stress, Young's modulus and the strain. So this Young's modulus is the stiffness of the beam. Okay. So this is for structural problem. That means it's a simple problem. To take the FEA, yes, the same thing scenario is happening in FEA also, stiffness. So in case of different method. So what are the basic methods we are following? So direct method. The direct method is easy to understand by using the engineering mechanics and also symptomatic concept. There is no commercial software available for direct method. In variational method, Rayleigh-Ritz method and difficult to understand, but moderate from code writing point of view. In case of weighted residual technique, so this is what today we are going to discuss about the weighted residual technique. Main technique is Galerkin method. It is difficult to understand. So that's what students are struggling in the first unit. They need to get pass in the FEA. So difficult to understand, but easy from programming point of view. Most of the industries they are developing using based on the weighted residual method. You always think about that. So if I am taking theory, definitely so many people won't listen. Okay, it is by default human nature. But if I show some software simulation, definitely they will show some interest. Okay, but you understand that the GUI. So if I move some cursor and I'm doing any simulation over that, everything is having some back end work in terms of mathematical equation and also programming. So we need to understand the theoretical concept, then only you can do the simulation. Now in syllabus also they are having governing equations in some specified topic in governing equation, but generally we must know what are the governing equations are there for different applications. To take the solid mechanics problem, so what is the governing equation for solid mechanics problem? Yes, already I have told that Hooke's law is the basic theory to solve any solid mechanics problem. Okay, we can confine that EA b squared u by dx square. So here EA is nothing but Young's modulus cross-sectional area. I will show that. E is Young's modulus area cross section. Second derivative of displacement, u is displacement, the distance of x. Okay, A is again cross-sectional area. Q naught is the body force. Okay, body force is nothing but weight of the body. Okay, equal to 0. This is the governing equation for solid mechanics problem. We must know this governing equation in the FEA. Okay, so next thing, so we can do the derivation, but here I am not going to do any derivation part. So just giving the overall view. Here you see that if you solve any structural problem, we must know about the Newton's law, Hooke's law, Lagrangian, Hamiltonian theory. So these are the essential theorem. Okay, we must know before studying the finite element method. Next, come to the thermal related problem. In thermal case, if you do the conduction, okay, definitely Fourier law of conduction plays the vital role. Okay, Fourier law of conduction. So what is conduction equation? Q is equal to minus K into delta T. That means dt by dx. Okay, K is thermal conductivity, A is area of cross sections. Sorry, A is a surface area. dt is temperature distribution over the distance. Newton's law of cooling, then Boltzmann. Newton's law of cooling for convection, Boltzmann constant for radiation. Okay, this is the governing equation for finite element method for thermal category. So this minus d squared dt by dx square EA plus HB. HB is nothing but thermal convection heat transfer coefficient. T minus d alpha. T is nothing but temperature of the object. T alpha is the surrounding temperature. That should be equal to 0. That is the equilibrium condition for thermal problems. Okay, so this is the example for the thermal problem. So if you heat any body, any component, so definitely the fuels are burned. They are producing the energy by means of heat. That heat is transferred to the vessel. The vessel is heated, then the food also heated and gives the useful product. Okay, then what is the beam equation? So beam governing equation follows the beam problem. It is Euler-Bernoulli theory we are using. In case of Euler-Bernoulli theory, okay, you see that every beam structures comes under the Euler-Bernoulli theory. So we know that m by I equal to sigma b by y equal to E by R. What is m? A moment. I is nothing but moment of inertia. Sigma b bending stress. Y is nothing but distance from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber. What is E? Young's modulus. R is the radius of curvature. Okay. So as per the finite element, so governing equation is EA into t power 4y by dx power 4 minus p. P is the applied load equal to 0. So this is a general example for beam equation. So these are the governing equations for beam problem. Now come to the vibration problem. If you take the longitudinal vibration, so we need to use the Newton's second law of motion. F is equal to ma. Okay, so mass into acceleration. So based on the governing equations, we can derive the governing equation of longitudinal vibration. That means AE d squared u by dx square. That means displacement, second derivative of displacement with respect to the distance x. Main thing is dt. So always if you speak about the vibration, always time dependent parameter. So density, surface area of cross section, then second derivative of displacement with respect to the time. Okay, it is a very important thing. To take the transverse vibration, again Euler-Bernoulli theory is used for this case. Here instead of AE, we are introducing the EA for beam theory. Because transverse vibration, transverse load is acting, definitely the problem is treated as a beam problem. Okay, that is density rho A d square by dt square. So U is horizontal displacement, Y is a vertical displacement. These are some other physical problems, field problems. Okay, just to show that thermal fin problems, okay, fluid problems, electrical and magnetism problems, okay, even electromagnetic theory also we can use here, magnetic field of on any electric motor, okay, these are the essential things. So this slides I have taken from MIT, but it is very essential slide. So every industrial person and also a mathematical academic person must know. So the general governing equations, again I am starting from the Hooke's law. Okay, the Hooke's law is the base. Okay, if you write the Hooke's law, again I am giving a definition. Hooke's law is nothing but stress is directly proportional to strain within the proportional limit, sigma equal to E into strain. So this is for general structural mechanics problem. If you take the finite element problem, so finite element means so many number of elements, so many number of nodes. We need to write in terms of matrix. So K is nothing but property, that means stiffness. So instead of E, we are writing K. So instead of strain, we are writing U. Instead of sigma, we are writing F. Not instead of is nothing. Instead of is nothing but we are replacing that. Sigma is nothing but P by A. Okay, Young's modulus. Strain is nothing but change length by original length. This del L is nothing but displacement. This P is nothing but force. Okay, E is nothing but material property, that is K, stiffness. So these three are the key parameters. Okay, so if you take the different problems, elastic, thermal, fluid, elastrostatic, what are the properties plays a major role? If it is elastic, stiffness, thermal, conductivity, fluid means viscosity. Okay, electrostatic means dielectric permittivity. What is the behavior? If you apply the load, force, heat source, body force, charge. Okay, charge. So if the behavior may be different. Just a minute. So there is so here the behavior is very important. So output parameters depends on the input force, like heat source, body force. That is corresponding output like displacement, temperature, velocity, and electric potential. Okay. So next case, what are the type of engineering problems? We must know. So it is we have seen in the engineering problem, boundary value problems, and also initial value problems and the eigenvalue problems. So these are the problems we are getting. So first boundary value problem. So in different differential equation applied to a set of boundaries. So every component having some boundaries. If you take any water bottle, so we are keeping the water bottle over the table. Yes, it is also having some boundary. So the bottom is having a fixed support, not fixed support. We are placing over that. This is like a support. Okay, that is having a boundary. So every component defines a set of boundaries. That is comes under the boundary value problem. And also it is not having any solution. In some cases there is no solution for that. Okay, it is very tedious. Okay, so if you take this equation, this d square by dx square plus 25u is equal to 0. You apply different boundary conditions, x equal to 0, dy by dx equal to 6, at x equal to pi, dy by dx equal to minus 9, there is no solution for that. Okay, there is no solution for that. So it is very difficult. So boundary value problem is limited for certain conditions. Now come to the initial value problem. So the condition specified at some time period. Okay, so it comes under the ordinary differential equation and partial differential equation problem. Okay, it is also called Cauchy problems. Okay, first order differential equation, and also you see that first order means first derivative dy by dx equal to f of xy, and initial condition is y of a equal to b. This is the example for that. Dy by dx equal to y, the boundary condition. So I am going a little bit faster because I am having so many slides after that. So eigenvalues in vibratory systems. So eigenvalue problem is mainly used in the case of vibration problems. Okay, in vibration problems there are n number of degrees of freedoms. Okay, even though n number of means we can define the degrees of freedom, but there are so many unknown equations. Okay, due to the higher vibrations in the in components. So we need to know the n number of differential equations. To solve those kind of problems, we can follow the eigenvalue problems. The eigenvalue problem is developed by Stodolov method and also Holzier method. One more method is matrix. So the matrix method is a very popular one. okay, to solve the n differential equations. Okay, so also it is used for all natural frequencies of the system. Okay, matrix method is approximate method. So in FEA, all the problems are solved by the matrix mathematical approach by using the matrix, okay, algebraic equation, okay, for natural frequency. So this is very essential, very important. Previous all the slides are showing the basics of FEA. Now come to the core of FEA. So how to do the calculation, that is very essential. So selection of displacement function, interpolation function. What is meant by interpolation function? As I have told that, so if you select any problem, if you want to solve any output parameters like displacement or pressure or temperature distribution, whatever may be, so we are focusing on the particular nodes only in the particular point. If you want to get the solution for the entire domain, we need to interpolate. That's what we have seen in the beginning itself. We are solving the particular nodal solution. That nodal solution should not be considered for the entire domain. We need to interpolate by means of interpolation function. That is the main purpose. So we must focus on that selection of interpolation function. So as per the definition, the function used to represent the behavior of the solutions. That's what I have told that what are the field problems we have chosen. So based on the field problems, how we are taking the interpolation function or approximate function. First one is there are two main interpolation functions are there. One is polynomial form. Already everyone know that polynomial form is nothing but u is equal to a1 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus a4 x power 4. Like this, we can keep on increasing the order of the polynomial equation. Mathematician, if you study the mathematics, and also if you study the FEA, you can understand that if you increase the polynomial order, definitely the solution will be closer. So we can eliminate the error. As I have told that FEA is the approximate method. Even though it is an approximate method, it is an acceptable method by means of reducing the error and reducing error with acceptable manner. So there how we can reduce the error by using the polynomial function, the polynomial order. Okay. Next, trigonometric form. So in trigonometric form, u is equal to a1 sin pi x by l plus a2 sin 3 pi x by l plus a3 sin 5 pi x by l. Okay, like this it keeps on increasing. If you compare the two equations, polynomial and trigonometry is very simple interpolation function. Even a single point is enough. Single parameter is enough. A1 sin pi x by l is enough to solve the problem. Okay, these two equations are very essential to keep in mind. Even though we are much knowledge in the ANSYS, we are having much knowledge in the abacus. So we must know the mathematical concept. So please focus on the interpolation function. Now come to the second one. Polynomial type of interpolation functions are mostly used. Okay, even though trigonometry equation is very simpler and very easy, but why they are preferring polynomial equation means, first thing is formulation is very simpler and computerized is also very simple. We can do this differentiation and integration is by using the polynomial, but in case of trigonometry, if you take two variables, the differentiation integration is very difficult. Okay, the number of steps goes on increasing. Next thing, third one is it is possible to improve accuracy by increasing the order of the polynomial. That's what I have told that if you increase the order of the polynomial, you will get the closer accuracy. For example, here you see that a1 up to we are having x power 4. It will give the, if you take the simple problem, this x power 4 order equation is giving good result, but in second equation having some error result. Okay, we can reduce the error by means of increasing the polynomial. Now come to the core topic. So this is the final topic of this session, weighted residual method. Okay, what is weighted residual method? We need to know. As you were told that weighted residual method is not a new one. So it was developed during the 1909. Okay, more than 100 years before. So we must focus on that. You must focus on that. Okay, so what is weighted residual technique? Okay, so the weighted residual method is one way of finding approximate solution. In approximate solution also, we are using differential, governing, equation. Okay, so I'm just giving the definition. I'm not going into the deeper. So here you see the difference, two difference. Okay, whatever we are saying in wordings, you see in graph, so you may get a better understanding. Okay, here you see that the curvature, you see that the straight, that means the continuous curve is the exact solution. You take any problem, so this is the exact problem. If I consider the approximate solution with the polynomial order of a0 plus a1, two variables if I consider, so it will give the linear equation. It is nothing but y equal to mx plus c. You remember that y is equal to mx plus c is the straight line equation. Okay, y is equal to mx plus c is the straight line equation. So if you choose this equation, it will give the straight line output. But you see the error. These portions are error. Okay, definitely the customer or any R&D people won't accept this selection of interpolation function. Then we need to increase the order. So here I am going to increase the order in quadratic way. Okay, so slightly it matches with the exact solution. Okay, you see that only small portion of error will be developed here. Okay, that is a basic difference between selection of interpolation function. If you select linear interpolation, you will get larger error. If you select quadratic approximation, even next cubic approximation interpolation function, you will get closer result. You may ask questions. Okay, why we are keeping multiple orders in the polynomial equation? How we can know that? What limit I can do this? That's what the actual question. That is called convergence study. So I will discuss in the end of the session. Convergence study is nothing but, so we need to take multiple equations in trial and error. So once it reaches the exact solution, we can stop the simulation or we can stop the calculation. So that is a convergence study in FEA by using the software. Okay, here start with the problems. Okay, in problem itself, I have defined the types. Okay, there are 4 many types in the vector resolute techniques. So I have explained one by one. So here a simple problem is taken into account. Solve the differential equation for a physical problem expressed as, okay, d square by dx square plus 100 equal to 0. Okay, everyone know that it is simple equations. It is not difficult to see that. So here you see that d square by dx square plus 100 equal to 0, limit 0 to 10. Okay, so you always think that it is not a new problem, it is a 100-year-old problem. Okay, I will show that. The boundary conditions they have given that y of 0 equal to 0. Y of 0 equal to 0 means what? At x equal to 0, y becomes 0. Okay, at x equal to 10, y becomes 0. Okay, so as per the weighted resolute technique, there are 4 methods. One is point collocation method, subdomain collocation method, least square method, then Calories method. Okay, so we will see one by one. First one is yes. So if you take the differential equation as it is, then you apply the boundary condition x equal to 0, y equal to 0, x equal to 10, y equal to 10. We apply over that. This is what I have discussed, that trial function. Assume the trial function. So this is a simple problem. So the problem itself they have given, or in some case in all the mathematical books and also FEA books, you may find that the trial function may be given. If it is not given, you can select any polynomial equations or any trigonometry equation. So here the taken trial function is y is equal to ax into x minus 10. Why we are taking x minus 10? 10 is the maximum limit. The x varies from 0 to 10. Okay, it satisfies the boundary condition. I just multiplied the term. Okay, ax into x, that means ax square. If you giving the explanation. Okay, so it's simple equation. So ax into x, it is a into x square, and x into 10. Okay, that means 10x. Okay, next thing, differential equation above. Yes, this step is very important. You see the problem, it is a second derivative, d square by dx square. But you see the trial function, it is a actual equation y in terms of displacement. Y is equal to a into x square minus 10x. So I want to replace this trial function into this. Okay, what I need to do? I need to differentiate the term 2 times.
Okay, if you differentiate this term in single time dy by dx, what will happen? Okay, if you differentiate that, 2x become x square become 2x. So this will become 1. Okay, if you differentiate that, x will become 1. So you will get minus 10. So a into 2x minus 10. Again, one more time we need to differentiate. Then you will get 2 into x differentiation become 1. So you will get, so a into 2 minus 0. Okay, because differentiation of 10 is 0. So finally you will get 2a is the answer. Okay, d square by dx square equal to 2a. Now listen carefully. Substitute this d square by dx square equal to 2a into the given governing equation. What will happen? 2a plus 100 equal to 0. Okay, that is what we are having. Residue. Okay, that is what residue. What is meant by residue? I already told that. So every complex geometry having approximate solution having errors. So that error should be minimized by means of selection of interpolation function. That interpolation function also depends on the error recovering formulas. Okay, so like orders, number of orders we can increase, number of parameters we can increase. So the residue also reducing the error parameter by using the residue. Residue is nothing but remaining. Okay, so now come to the point allocation. As per the definition, residual is said to be 0. So residue means we are neglecting the error. Error tends to be 0. That's what we are saying, that error tends to be 0. Okay, so R is nothing but 2a plus 100 equal to 0. If you equate 2a is 100 equal to 0, what will happen? Okay, I will write that. So here 2a plus 100 equal to 0. That means 2a equal to minus 100. So a equal to minus 100 by 2. So again a is equal to minus 50. That's what is happening here. So hence the trial function, you substitute the a into the trial function. Trial function, I think y is equal to a into x minus 10. So instead of a, I can write minus 50. Okay. So you will get y is equal to 50x into 10 minus x. Here negative sign is here, minus 50x into x minus 10. Multiply the negative sign inside the bracket. So minus x plus 10. So I can rewrite plus 10 is beginning, minus x is second. So 50x into 10 minus x. This is a solution from the point of allocation. Next one is subdomain allocation. Yes, it is very difficult to understand, but you try to listen. So integral of the residue. So before, in beginning point calculation, just we are equating into 0. But here we are integrating the residue over subdomain. If you take the any domain problem, so if you take the domain problem, so this can be divided into so many number of equal parts. So if you want to select particular domain, particular point over the domain, we need to integrate. That means subdomain. Okay, we are taking particular domain over the complex geometry. It is called subdomain. So we need to integrate over that particular domain. Then we can interpolate with the entire volume. Okay, so we need to integrate. That means this is the actual structure of the subdomain allocation. That means limit 0 to 10 hot dx equal to 0. So the integral of the residue tends to 0. So where r is equal to, so I just erase this one. So 2a r is equal to nothing but 2a plus 100. Substitute the r value here. Okay, substitute the r value here. So r is nothing but 2a plus 100 dx equal to 0. Already many people know about integration. So this integration step is nothing but to integrate this step. So you will get 2a into x. Okay, plus 100, integration of 100 is 100x. So the limit over that 0 to 10. Okay, this is lower limit, this is upper limit. Okay, so 2ax plus 100x. So if you substitute the upper limit, lower limit is 0. So you can apply the upper limit. So 2a into 100. Okay, 2a into 10, 20. So 100 into 10, 1000. Okay. Okay, next thing. So 2a plus 1000 equal to 0. 1000 equal to 0. So a is equal to minus 50. Then the trial function is y is equal to minus 50x into x minus 10. Y is equal to 50x into 10 minus x. Okay, that's all. Now come to the least square method. This is the third method. Yes, again you understand the topic. So my main focus is the fundamentals. I'm not going into deeper in the calculation part. So it is a simple problem solving session. So because everyone know how to do the simulation, calculation. So integral of the squares. Okay. So in previous case, subdomain calculation is a simple integration. So here we are going to square the residue. Okay, for minimizing the error. So we are the integral of the square is residue over the domain is minimum. Okay, if you do the square value, then you will get the 0. For example, I will say 0.02 answer is you are getting. Okay, this is the final solution we are getting for displacement y equal to. If you square this value, y square equal to means what will happen? So you will get again minimum value. Okay, 0.0000. Okay, to 4. Is it correct? So this is the minimum value. This is the least value. Okay, least value means what? We are getting least error. Okay, that's what we are doing, least square method. Okay, we are reducing the error. 0.02 is the error. Okay, if you squaring means you will get again small amount of error. That is the purpose of doing least square method. Okay, I will erase that. Okay, next thing. So 0 to 10 r square dx equal to minimum. Okay, r is again we know the r equal to 2a plus 100. Where r square we can replace r with 2a plus 100. 2a plus 100 equal to 2. Residue is a small amount of error. Okay, so square the term. It's nothing but a plus b the whole square. The formula is a plus b whole square. It is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. We know the formula for this. A square plus a square is 2a square, that means 4a square. B square is 100 square, that is 10,000. 2ab is nothing but 2e into 2, 4, 4a into 100, 400a. Okay, so if you integrate this, okay, integration we should know how to integrate. If you integrate 4a square, it becomes 4a square into x. You integrate 400a, 400a into x. You integrate 10,000 into x. Okay.
So all participants respond to answer 0.004. Sorry for the disappointment, sir.
Okay, sorry. Previous case, sir. Previous case.
Yes, sir. This is final step.
So okay. Least square. Okay, for example, I told that for this case, y is equal to 0.02.
0.0004.
That's what I have written. So I'm not asking any answer for that. I'm just saying.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
You proceed, sir.
Okay. Next thing, 4a square plus 400a. Okay. So you substitute the limit 10. Okay. 4 into 10, 40. 400 into 10, 4,000. Okay. 10,000 into 10. Okay. 1 lakh. Okay. This is the actual formula. Now, so as you know the maximum minimum concept. So this is the I. Okay. This is I. As per the definition of least square, dou I by dou A equals 0. That means minimum. We need to minimize. I become minimize. Okay. Minimize means dou A by dou A, partial derivative of that minimization is equal to 0. That is the mathematical formula. Okay. So dou A by dou A is nothing but partial derivative of the particular variable, unknown variable A square. Okay. Dou A by dou A equals 0 means, so if you partial differentiate this 40a square, so 40a square means 2 into 40a, okay, plus 4,000, okay, 10,000 becomes 0 equal to 0. So that means 80a plus 4,000 equal to 0. Okay, so you will get a equal to minus 4,000 divided by 80, that equal to minus 50. So hence the trial function is y is equal to minus 50x into x minus 10. Again, you will get the same answer, y is equal to 50x into 10 minus x. Okay. The last and more effective method, Calories method.
Use the plants in the Via market.
Okay, Calories method, the domain integral of the product. Yes, in previous case, integration, then squaring of that squaring of the integration, then subdomain. Okay, the next case is residue tends to minimize. Now, come to the Color-Green's method. The domain integral of the product of the trial function with the residue is set to be 0. Okay, the domain integral, the meaning of the domain integral is nothing but product of the trial function with the residue is set to be 0. So here you see the meaning of the definition. Y is nothing but trial function, R is nothing but residue. The product of trial function and residue with the integral value is tends to be 0. That is the meaning of the Color-Green. Okay, as I have told that if you take the domain over that, so if you take the small amount of this portion, I want to do the calculation over the particular point. So I want to do the I want to use the Color-Green's method. If you want to use the Color-Green's method, this is the syntax. It is the overall mathematical equation for the Color-Green's. So y into r dx equal to 0. Okay, so here r is equal to 2a plus 100. Okay, so y is nothing but a into x square minus 10x. Okay, substitute the value y, replace y in terms of a into x square minus 10x, replace r is equal to 2a plus 100. Okay, you multiply these two terms. Okay, and just to replace it here. So then you multiply the term. Okay, multiply the ax into x minus, that means here one more way, y is equal to ax into x minus 10. Both are same. Nothing, don't worry. So we can take x's outside. Okay, ax into x minus 10. That's what I have mentioned here. I can give one more bracket here. So you multiply these two parameters, this one and this one, you will get the formula here. So ax into x square, ax square into 2a. Okay, ax square into 2a. What is the formula? 2a square x square. So you multiply ax into x square into 100. What will happen? 100 into a into x square. Okay. Next 10 into 2a. 10 into 2a means 20. 10 into a in addition to the ax. Okay. So ax 10 into 2a. Okay, 20 a square x. Again ax minus 10 into 100. Okay, minus 1000 ax. So this is the expansion. This is a multiplication value. So if you not understand, I can write one more step. Then you can easily understand that. Here I have written like this. Single bracket a x square minus a into 10x. Okay, so this is the actual formula. Second one is 2a plus 100. Now you multiply ax
Sir,
square into
please
2a.
skip the simplification part.
What, sir? Hello? Hello, yes, sir?
Bro, simplification part. All our lecturers know, they know.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, no problem. I'm just giving the basic explanation because some students are listening. That's what I'm doing the simplification.
Okay, bro, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So 2a into 2a square into x square. Then ax square into 100. Okay, that is 100 ax square minus a into 10 into x 2a. So you will get the expansion. Okay. Now, if you do the integration, everyone know the basic integration. Okay. So 2a x square integration is x cube by 3. X square again x square integration x cube by 3. X integration is x square by 2. Again x is integration x square by 2. You simplify the term. Okay, or you combine it. Okay, 2x cube is here. Okay, 2x square is here. You combine that. Okay, before combining, you can apply the upper limit. Okay, 10, you substitute the 10 here, 10 cube. 10 cube here, 10 square here, 10 square here. The simplification factor is here. 1000, okay, 1000, 100, 100. Okay, so for the simplification, so I am dividing the entire equation by 1000. So you will get 2 by 3 into a plus 100 by 3. Okay, 100 by 3 into a. Okay, sorry, a we are also dividing a. So 100 by 3. So a minus 50, that is equal to 0. Okay, so otherwise we can write it as, so we can take LCM of 3, then multiply with the part here. So I am writing one more time. So if you take the LCM of 3, 2a plus 100 minus 3a minus 3 into 50, 150. Okay, that is equal to 0. So you can get the simplified term 2a plus 100 minus 3a minus 150 equal to 0. That's all. Okay, so then now again 2a minus 3a minus a. Okay, 100 minus 150 minus 50 equal to 0. Okay, a equal to minus 50. Okay, so minus a equal to plus 50, a equal to minus 50. You know the trial function. Okay, minus 50 into x minus 10. Again we write it as y equal to 50x into 10 minus x. This is the fourth method, Calagine's method. If you compare all the four methods, the solutions are same. Okay, all the methods are giving y equal to 50x into 10 minus x. So how can I choose the particular method? Whether I need to choose a point allocation method, whether I need to choose a Calagine's method, which one is best? There is a confusion. For simple problem, if you take any method, you will get the same answer. It depends on the selection of field problems. Okay. I will show one more problem. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to solve any problem. I'm just showing that. Okay, next problem. Yes, a simple quiz I have posted here. A participant try to post your answer in the chat box. So the subdomains are called as what? Subdomain means the entire large body. So we are dividing into so many number of equal parts. So there are so many subdomains. What is the name of that particular domains?
Many participants said option C, sir.
Oh, option
Two
C.
participants says option B.
Molecules. Oh. Okay. Okay. Any other answer?
Then two participants respond to options A, particles.
Okay. Okay. So come to the answer. So still from the beginning, still the previous slide, I have not taken any discussion over the particles over the molecules. So from the beginning itself, I am speaking about the elements. Okay. The answer is element. The subdomains are called as elements. Okay. Now the second quiz. Unit body force acting on every elemental volume of the body is what? So in some one equations, I have told that Q naught equal to body force. What is the meaning of that force? That's what given here. Unit body force acting on every elemental volume of the body is.
So many participants said option C, sir.
Okay.
Then few participants said option A.
Okay. Okay. You see that body force, even though it is a volumetrical object, so the main thing is we are considering a small elemental portion over the volume. Okay, always force is acting per unit area, not the element, not the volume. Okay, there is no confusion over that. Even though it is a complex geometry, larger volume component, our aim is to solve the particular portion of the geometrical component. So that is force per unit area. That is the answer for the quiz. Okay, so one more simple problem. I'm not going into deeper. I'm just skipping very fastly. You just listen. So find the deflection at the center of a simply supported beam. Span length L subjected to uniformly distributed load throughout the length as shown in figure. So here I have not given any figure. I just draw the configuration. So this is the beam. Okay, so it is simply supported beam. Okay, so it is simply supported beam. It is subjected to uniformly distributed over the entire length. Okay, this is the length L here. Okay, what is they are asking about deflection. Find the deflection at the center of the beam. They are asking about the center point of the beam. If you take A, B, and C here, they are asking the deflection at the center. So we know the exact solution. Okay, I will show later. As per the center material concepts, we know the exact solution as 5 by 384 WL power 4 divided by EA. That is the actual solution. If you choose finite element method, if you divide the element into if you divide the structure into multiple number of elements, how you can solve? That's what I'm going to say here. So we can use again point allocation, subdomain allocation, least square method, and Calagine's. So in case of governing equations, yes, if the problem is comes under the beam, you directly write EA into d power 4 by dx power 4 minus W equal to 0. This equations I already given in the beginning itself, in the governing equations section. Okay. So EA into d power 4y by dx power 4 minus y w. Then boundary conditions are satisfied, no issue. Okay, no problem. D square y by dx square is a bending moment m. I is nothing but moment of inertia. So these are the basic things. I will skip here. Yes, this is the main thing. Okay. In this problem, there is no displacement function is given. So as per the mathematical concept, either I can choose polynomial or otherwise trigonometry. Okay, here I have taken as the single variable trigonometry interpolation function. Okay, interpolation functions are very essential. Interpolation functions are very essential. Here I have taken trigonometry interpolation function. Y is equal to a into sin pi x by L. Okay, so why I need to do the differentiation? That is the main thing. I am not going into the differentiation part. You see that as per the governing equation, this is in the fourth order, d power 4y by dx power 4. I need to replace the differentiation and the quadratic equation with the Taylor function. So I need to differentiate 4 times. So if you differentiate dy by dx means sine differentiation of sine is cos. Okay, pi x, the differentiation of pi x by L into pi by L. If you differentiate one more time, d square by dx square, again differentiation of cos is minus sine. Okay, the differentiation of pi x by L is pi by L. Already pi by L is there, so you multiply the term pi square by L square. Again, you differentiate one more time, d cube y by dx cube. The differentiation of sine is cos. Again, pi x by differentiation is pi by L. Already pi square L square is there. You multiply the y by L one more time, pi cube by L cube. Again, you differentiate one more time. Cos, the differentiation of cos is sine. Okay, so the differentiation of pi x by L is the pi by L. Already pi cube by L cube is there. So multiply the pi by L, you will get pi power 4 by L power 4. Okay, this is the final form, d power 4y by dx power 4. Okay, it satisfies the boundary condition. Yes, everything is satisfied. Here it is R. How it is defined from R? I just give you one simple equation. So in the governing equation itself, here you see that EI d power 4 y by dx power 4 minus w equal to 0. This is the actual governing equation. Is it correct? Yes. dA into d power 4 y by dx power 4. Instead of d power 4 y by dx power 4, we have found that this is the final form. Okay, a into pi power 4 divided by L power 4 into sin pi x by L. That's what we have substituted here. And EI into a into I pi power 4 divided by L power 4 into sin pi x by L minus w. That is the residue. Okay, so next thing, point location method. Again, same, residual is set to be 0. Okay, you set the residual tends to 0. Okay, you equate this equation. So EI a into pi power 4 L power 4 sin pi x by L equal to w. Okay, to get the this is the actual equation. If you want to take the maximum deflection, as per the beam theory, the simply supported beam subjected to uniform distributed load, the maximum deflection will occur at the center of the point. So you will get at x equal to L by 2, you will get the maximum deflection. Okay, if you substitute the L by 2, you will get the solution here. Okay, this is the solution part. So substitute instead of x equal to L by 2. So sin pi L will cancel, sin pi by 2, sin pi by 2 become 1. So it become 1. So EA pi power 4 by L power 4 equal to W. A is equal to W L power 4 divided by pi power 4 EA. Okay. As per the trial function, Y is equal to A sin pi x by L. Instead of A, I can write this A. Okay, sin pi x by L. So at x equal to, again, maximum deflection at x equal to L by 2. You substitute here. So if you substitute L by 2 here, so L by 2 means L cancel, pi by 2. Again, sin pi by 2, 1. Final answer is this one. Okay, subdomain calculation. Again, the integral of the residue over the subdomain is 0. Same, previous problem, similar to the previous problem. You replace R into this equation. Then you do the integration. The integration of sin is minus cos. Okay, so in differentiation, the differentiation of sin is plus cos. In integration, the differentiation of sin is minus cos. Okay, you do the everything. And also the integration of this inner part by x by L is multiplication of not multiplication divided by, you see that the integration is minus cos pi x by L divided by pi by L. So the next step I have written in the in multiplication term L by pi minus double x by L. Okay, so you substitute the term. Okay, you here substitute the upper limit L. If you substitute the limit L here, so L will cancel. Okay, pi also cancel. Okay, only pi term is there, or simply you can multiply this term to here. Okay, L will cancel. Okay, I am writing here. So this L, this is one L is cancelled. 1 pi is cancelled. This is 3. This is also 3. Okay, you substitute the value of L here. So L will cancel. Only pi is there. Cos pi is minus 1. Cos 0 1. Cos 0 also 1. Okay. So my cos pi minus 1. Yes, minus 1 also. Minus 1, and all that is equal to minus. Already our minus is there. So okay, equal to minus WL. So A equal to, again you will get WL power 4 divided by 6 to A. Now the trial function is y is equal to A sin pi x by L. So you will get A value. Then you substitute the maximum limit L by 2. Again you will get the WL power 4 divided by 6 to A. That is the final answer. And the least square method, again the same, integral over the square of the residue over the domain is minimum. You do the calculation, again same step, one by one, you square the term. Okay, again A plus A minus B the whole square. A minus B whole square means again use the formula. So A minus B the whole square equal to A square plus B square minus 2AB. If you use this formula, you will multiply this term. Again, I am giving one key point here. Sin square x we cannot directly integrate. Okay, for that I can write it as 1 minus cos 2 pi x by L divided by 2. I can replace the sin square by x by L into 1 minus cos 2 pi x by. That's what I have written here. Okay. So 1 minus cos 2 pi x by L divided by 2. Okay. So again you will do the simple integration. Okay, wherever the x is there and you integrate, minus cos is integration is sine. Okay, sine integration, again cos. Okay, you do the integration part, then you expand, you substitute the upper limit and lower limit. Okay, you will get the solution over that. One more step is here, we need to partially differentiate the previous step. Okay, then equate into 0, then you will get the term. So always you keep in mind A should be the unknown parameter. Hence the trial function, again you will get the same. Here again pi by 2, so you will get 4 WL power 4 divided by pi power 5 into EA. You will get the answer WL power 4 divided by 76.5 into EA. Last method, so in this method I wind up here. Galerkin's method is again domain integral product of trial function with the residue set to be 0. So this is the structure of the Galerkin's method. Again, we know the R, we know the Y. Y is nothing but A sin pi x by L. You multiply the terms, you will get the terms here. Again, you replace the sin square by x by L into 1 minus cos 2 pi x by L. Okay, so this is 1 minus cos 2 pi x by L. After multiplication, you will get the expansion. Okay. So, this is the step by step procedure. I am not doing here. The last step, you will get the A value is 4 WL power 4 divided by pi power 5 into EA. So hence the trial function is 4 pi WL power 4 by pi power 5 into EA. Sin pi x by L, you substitute x equal to L by 2, you will get 4 WL power 4 divided by pi power 5 into EA. Y max equal to 4 WL power 4 divided by 76.5 EA. Okay, the conclusion, if you take the answer for this, so this is the exact solution. Okay, as per the fundamental concept, this is the exact solution we are getting from the output result. So that means, so it is now once again I repeat it here. It is not 4. 4 is not coming here. WL power 4 divided by 76.8 EA. In point collocation, WL power 4 divided by 97.4 EA. In subdomain collocation, 62 EA. In least square, WL power 4 76.5 EA. Again, Galerkin's method 76.8. You compare these two values. So here these values is different from this, and also exact answer is 76.8. This will be matches with the last two methods, because we are reducing so many errors, okay, by using this least square and also Caligins method, because it is also square of the residue. Caligins is also product of the least values. Okay, both are giving very less error solution. Okay, you will get exact solution in the least square and also Caligins method. But in previous case, all the methods are having producing same result. But here, least square method and Caligins method produce the exact solution. Okay, so this is the final step. So I wind up here. So I hope all of you get a small idea about the finite element method and what are the governing equations, what is the basic history. So how to do the calculations, what are the weighted residual techniques are there, how to do what are the syntax are there. So I hope you all get a small amount of knowledge in the finite element method. I thank everyone for listening for the past 1.5 hours. Okay, I thank our management and also our department, HOD and principal. Okay, so I wind up here. Thank you, participants. If any queries you can ask through chat box, I will try to answer. Okay, this is the admission is going. Venkatesh. Hello, Venkatesh.
Hello, sir.
I conclude the session. You can
okay,
do the formality.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
If any queries, you just see that and I try to answer.
Sir, please share the attendance link, sir.
Okay, sir. You check the chat box.
Sir, wait a minute, sir. Participants, you are having any doubt, you ask your doubts through chat box.
Or if you have any specific doubt, you can unmute your Google Meet, then you can ask.
Hello, sir. My name is Melvin Matthew.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I am a student.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yes. Tell me, sir.
Please explain, sir, fluid domain, sir.
In case of fluid, you see that already I have given in the application itself. Yes, here you see that it is a fluid domain. Okay, so this is the actual ship hull. Okay, it is a solid model. Okay, you cannot simulate the solid model using CFD. So we need to create a fluid domain by means of simple rectangular box. That rectangular box is nothing but a water of the sea and also air medium of the wind. Okay, both are integrated and also model as a fluid domain. Okay, this rectangle is created as a fluid domain. We are giving input to the rectangle at one side. So the ship is floated over the fluid domain. We are splitting into two halves. So one half is placed here. So if the wind force is applied here, so it will be passed over the surface and also under the water surface. Okay, water also having some wavy nature. So okay, it will try to give more force over the propeller. Okay, so both are considered as a fluid domain. Okay, this is the way of doing CFD analysis.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other specific question you can ask? So I will see the chat box. If any questions raised, I will try to see the answer. Venkatesh, any specific questions?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir. Tell me, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So can I ask the question?
Yes. Please ask.
Ask, ma'am.
Sir, actually, I'm from
Ask,
electrical
madam.
background.
Okay, madam.
know about FEA in electrical machines, especially in machine designing.
Yes, madam. So in you need to know the mathematical background, or
Sir?
you need to know about the mathematical equations or simulation procedure.
Sir, both the things I want to know, sir.
Yes, in mathematical aspect, you already you studied the basic equations, Ohm's law, like that. So
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
that equation is more than enough to create a mathematical modeling for your particular domain. Okay.
Okay.
So then you can use the ANSYS software. Okay, ANSYS
Yeah.
software. There is a system tools called electromagnetic, also electromechanical also is there. If you want to simulate the machine, means you can do the input as a electrical voltage, then you
Okay.
can get the output of rotation. Okay, those
Okay.
things are also simulated in the software. So if you want to develop the mathematical model, means so already you have studied that equations in the subject, madam. So
Okay.
those
Okay.
equations is applied through the software.
Okay.
But in software, we are not giving any mathematical equations. By default, they have developed it by using the
Okay.
codings.
Okay.
Okay, just we need to build the three-dimensional model. Then we need to give the boundary conditions. We need to give the material properties. Okay, we specify the domains. Okay, this is the electrical domain. This is the portion of mechanical domain. You can give the input as a electrical voltage, so and so voltage. Okay, then you can give the amps. Then it will trigger the machine. Then it will rotate. So during the rotation, what is the maximum stress produced? Any leakages in the electrical circuit, or everything we can get idea from the simulation result.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
madam.
So thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Venkatesh, in chat box, any other question?
Sir, wait a minute, sir. Sir, what is the difference between mathematical modeling and governing equation? What are all the essential parameters have to be considered?
Difference between what Venkatesh?
What is the difference between mathematical modeling in governing equations, sir?
So
And
it is not
what are the
difference.
essential parameters have to be considered?
It is not your question is different, but it is not a difference. Mathematical modeling is a simple concept. Okay, so before developing a real component, we need to do the mathematical. We need to develop the mathematical model. So here in slide you see that. So if you want to solve the solid mechanics problem, this is the actual governing equation. Okay, so this is a mathematical model. Mathematical model means is nothing but equations and also geometry. Okay, in one slide I have mentioned that continuous and discrete model. You see that? Okay, so this is the actual scenario. This is the real problem. Okay, you are converting this real problem into subcomponents like springs and mass and also dampers. So mass having equations like Newton's second law of motion. Okay, spring has stiffness. Okay, damper has coefficient, damping coefficient. If you combine these equations, governing equations, you generate the new mathematical model. Okay, for this riding of the bike. But you need to know the basic theory behind in the mechanical subjects. Okay, so if you know the Newton's second law for the mass with acceleration, okay, stiffness of the spring and also damping coefficient factor, if you combine all the topics and you can generate the mathematical model it is not a magic. Everything is defined in the textbook itself. Only thing is we need to know the conversion. Okay,
So another one participants asked.
Yes.
Apply finite element modeling concept for CFD fluid analysis. What will be the accuracy of the result, sir?
As I have told that FEM, finite element method, finite volume method, finite difference method, all are approximate method. So you will get the approximate solution only, but you can reduce the error by means of selecting the number of orders in the polynomial equations. In case of software, So in software itself, you can select the proper element. In case of CFD, you can do the proper, you can select the proper element. Okay, that will create a more accurate solutions what you have get from the exact solution. Okay, the main thing is selection of polynomial equation, selection of trigonometry equations. That means interpolation function is the main thing. Both all the FEM methods are approximate method only. We can reduce the method, we can reduce the error, and also you can do the convergence study. That is the best way. Okay, so if you know the exact solution or otherwise near to the exact solution, you can increase number of element. Okay, you can increase the number of nodes. Okay, over the boundary. Then you do the simulations multiple times with the trial and error. Okay, if you reach the nearest solution of that exact solution, you will stop at the particular point. Then you can conclude that. That is the way.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Then last question, sir.
Okay.
How does the other external forces added in the simulation, wind resistance, etc.?
Yes, in ANSYS, in afternoon session, Mr. Amudan will handle that session, so he will explain clearly. Okay, in every module, in ANSYS, there are so many modules are there. Structural models, okay, electrical models, okay, in vibration model and dynamic models, okay, then electromagnetic models, okay, everything is available. So depends on your selected problems, okay, you can choose the particular module. In that model, in software itself, it will ask what are the properties you are going to give. Okay, if you take the electrical, as a madam asked the questions, if you want to do the electrical simulation, it will ask what amount of voltage you are going to give. Okay, you enter the value. So what is the property you are going to give? Copper means what is the conductivity of the copper. Okay, so what is the property of the Young's modulus of the copper? So everything we need to give, then you apply the load, then you will get the solution. So it depends on the selection of the field variable problems. Okay, so you parallelly you develop your mathematical model and do the simulation. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Already time reached 12 o'clock.
Okay,
sir.
okay, we can wind up.
Participants, if you have any doubt, you ask through mail gerald@rit.rjbm.ac.in. So we will see all your questions, then clarify you in later. Okay. Now I call upon Mr. R. Prabhakaran to give an vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Ramco Institute of Technology, Department of Mechanical Engineering, RIT MechCAD Center, and IEI, I would like to thank resource person Mr. J. Gerald John Brito. He gave wonderful session to us. So definitely it will be very useful for enrich our knowledge in FEA, especially with the example for initial value and the boundary value problems and the continuous and the discontinuous function example and the weighted residual technique basic concept. Very much useful, sir. So in faculty point of view, definitely it will be helpful, and the students point of view, definitely they will get good marks in the particular topic. So once again, I thank everyone. The event as a success. So faculty, the participants are requested to attend all the session without fail. So once again, I thank everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Gerald, sir.
Thank you, Prabhar.
Participants, we have already shared attendance link through our chat box. So the link is enabled for only 10 minutes. So within the 10 minutes, you have to give your attendance through our